Hello, 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 hello. Here we are again. And first of all, listen, if you click that button, I'm saying thank you. Thank you for being interested enough to see what is that this brother got to say. Or if you're following me and subscribing, thank you so much. If you aren't, what are you waiting for? If you like this, like it. And if you don't, it's all good because you know what? I know that I am not everybody's flavor, baby, and it really is okay. Believe you me. But uh today what's on my mind, and I don't know why this is on my mind. I can't stop it being on my mind, is I've been seeing a lot of these people getting upset about what's happening in the country and the block. And make no mistake when I say that I'm bothered. Like, believe you me, I'm bothered. But I'm bothered for a different reason, though. Let me just say that what's happening is what's happening. Okay, you know, there's a bit of a disillusionment for me because we have made progress. Everybody is not on the same page, but to see the majority of folks be okay with the things that are going on is just crazy. The, I hate to say this like this, and this is not for all my white folks because I know, and white is such a whatever conundrum. Many white people are like, oh, you're white, you're black, and that's all made up. Race is all made up anyway. That's another conversation. But for my Caucasian people, for my colonizing people who are really about humanity, who really are awakened to diversity, awakened to equality, this is not for you. Um, but for those other folks who probably ain't even watching this thing, to be honest, they like, I expect that from certain white people. Certain white folks feel like if it's not in their interest, they don't care. That's not everybody, but there are certain white folks that really, and they don't, and this is the crazy part, they don't say that, right? So there's the people that are like clearly racist. And then the other white folks who also participate in racism but pretend that they don't because race is not an issue for them. Well, and I always say when someone says race is not an issue for me, and I go, well, then I don't know how you can see me because I'm black. I mean, that's just it. Just is, and race is an issue for this entire country. So you can't like put in your mind and devoid yourself like, oh no, race is not an issue. That is a weird thing to say to somebody. Just weird. It's weird when someone says it to me. It is not a compliment. Just so you know. Um. Uh. So anyway. But my point is that I wanted to make is that I expect that in that community. You expect that to emerge in that community. But the black and brown folks, especially my Latino brothers and sisters, um, not the ones that are like keyed in, but the ones who are like, well, listen, there's some Latino and brown folks out there who are whitewashed, baby. And I mean whitewashed. And most of them I notice, which is crazy, there's colorism in there because there's colorism in our community. And if you don't know what that means, it means that some of the folks who have a little bit of more lighter melanin assume that they're better than those who are more indigenous looking or more darker. Not only do they assume it, they act it. They are highfalutin. They are above that. And there are some Latino folks that think that, first of all, I'm like, have you looked in the mirror? You don't look like, you look like somebody white in your family was doing something because you don't look indigenous. And that's like how I feel at times. And whether you do look it or not, because there's people in my community that don't look indigenous, but you can tell from the attitude that they are, right? And so there's some people who trying to act like that they're above that. That they're like, we're all in this together. Like we're in the same stew. That's the crazy part. And they're like just now waking up to it. That is so crazy. I'm not, I don't like when people are like, taking every single Latino and putting them into that bracket. I don't believe in that. I don't like that at all. I'm not saying that because all Latino folks did not sell us out. Okay, all Latino folks do not deserve what's coming. right now and what's happening right now. That's real. And that's not fair for people to just say, oh well. But those Latino folks that were talking so much smack and voted for this known racist is crazy. And I want to share this story because this happened like a while back. I was talking to a friend of mine who is from a different country. I don't want to say because if this friend sees this, I don't want. I love him very much, very very much, and I don't want to dog him out because I did not tell him this at the time, and it wasn't a thing, right? But it wasn't a thing, and it was. So he had trouble because he was dating a Jewish dude, and the parents were for Trump. He's dating this Jewish dude. They've been dating for a long time, like practically married, like dating, right? And then the Jewish parents of the dude was for Trump, and there was a clash, right, with him. So he's like, talking about his rights and LGBTQ and this whole thing. And I said, and also you're a man of color. And he goes, no, I mean, I can't identify with that because I've never been treated in such a way, or I've never, like, I'm not of that colored culture. So I'm not like, he was like, I've never been treated like I'm not a man of color. Like he wasn't even being like, I'm above it. He just was like, I can't say that. No, that's never happened for me. And I just was like, this is not the time, because I was there to console him about it, because they broke up, right? They broke up because he could not deal with the fact that these people were supporting Trump, and good for him for that. But I was also like, look, when you come in this country, no matter where you're from, if you've got melanin, if you are not from one of those European countries, and you could be from those European countries, but if you got melanin in you, you are colored. If you are Asian, you are colored. There's a good friend of mine, or a good colleague of mine, I should say, Japanese, and she came here and found out quick that over there she's Japanese. Over here, she is one of those Asian foreigners. And that's how they treat you. It doesn't matter if they say it to you. They're not going to say, especially in California, they're not going to say it to you. They're not going to tell you that you are part of the colored bunch, but you are. That's the crazy part. And then what the conversations become is, how can we now create this separation inside the minorities? Because if they all come together, we are screwed. If the LGBTQ community comes together with the Black community, and the Black community comes together with the Latin community, and then we bring in the Asian community as well, they are screwed. If we really can come together in a way of allowing people to be and fight for our interests, we all have interests. That's the crazy part, that we're still focused on the things that divide us. I just saw this TikTok video of this light colored man who's fat as fuck. F-A-F. Fat as fuck. That's what I said. What you been eating? And then he's talking about Black people and that we're lazy, we don't come together, this whole thing. And I'm like, bro, your community voted for a white supremacist that is now on what happened? Now on his way to trying to get rid of all Latin existence, as many as possible. And your community helped him to do that. Like a community, not everybody, but the community as a whole. The statistics is there, numbers don't lie. And you're sitting there telling us about Black folks don't come together? Because he can't be racist in this country. He can be racist in Mexico, because Mexicans have the power in Mexico to be racist. They have the power structure to establish themselves as the superior race in Mexico. They can't be racist here in the United States because they don't have the structure. Just like we as Black folks in America, especially the descendants of slaves, don't have the power structure to establish ourselves as the superior race. So we can't be racist, but you're definitely prejudiced. You're definitely bigoted. You're definitely biased. And the thing is, like, where are you getting this from? Like, we have problems in every community, but you can't just say because Leroy don't want to work, all Black people don't want to work. Yeah, we got some Leroys that don't want to work. It's true. Yeah, we've got some people that don't trust one another. It's true. Yeah, that's called humanity. That's not called being black. But if you haven't immersed yourself enough in the culture, and he doesn't care to, and also, I just want to say this. Also, what we don't know is that there are people that get paid to do these videos. There are people that get paid to say these things. They're paid to do that, and they consistently do that. That's how they make their living, dude. So they get paid to make these videos by people who have an interest in continuing the divide. You have to be aware of that. Candace Owens gets paid. I don't know about how much now because she messed herself up. But Candace Owens gets paid to create the divide and to say the things against African American people so that that party doesn't feel so bad about what they're doing because Candace Owens says it's okay. Deep, deep, deep breath. Listen, I don't, I'm not, I know I had said in this other video because I am focused on my own stuff, but I just, for me, I'm not going to let people forget that you voted for this. It's weird because everybody's been like, block me. I'm gonna block you. I don't, whatever. Um, I think I may have blocked one person because I was like, I don't even know them and I don't need to see that. But I don't really block people. They block me because I keep telling them like, well, you voted for white supremacy, or you're offering me, like someone offered me to come and play in their party and be a part of their party. And I was like, your party is a party of white supremacy. I was like, so like he was like, well, you can join. I was like, join? What are you talking about? I was like, what do you want me to meet you by a big old oak tree? And should I bring a rope when I come? And he was like trying to act like he was perplexed and being smart. I was like, well, I mean, these people want me dead. And then the way that you all are trying to make it seem like this is some far fetched thing way out there, you guys are living in the past. Ahmaud Arbery happened like 4 years ago. A black man jogging in the street who got shot. And that's the only one, not the only one, but that's one of the few that we know. There's so many more that we don't even know about, dude. White supremacy ideology is a real thing. And to think that you as a Asian person, Mexican, brown, Latino, whatever you want to call that, but my Latin community, uh, black folks, those some of those black folks, to think that you are not going to get hurt by white supremacy ideology, to think that you support that when it goes against not only you but in your entire race, that's a big betrayal. Huge, huge. And I just can't say, well, it's politics. So, well, okay, you made a mistake. It's like, well, this is beyond politics. Well, this is about your morality because we knew all this stuff. They told us it was everywhere, it was laid out. And this old white man who had a reality TV show told y'all that it wasn't true and you believed it. And now here we are. This is almost like, and I don't know for sure, but it feels like the beginning of Nazi Germany. I wasn't there, but it feels like the beginning because you can slowly see things moving in a certain way. The news media moving in a certain way. Certain countries don't get our news now and don't know like what's really going on here. The roundups that are happening, and it's only the beginning. So, whew, 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 reality. So I'm focusing on, well, I'm definitely going to, I have a voice and I'm going to speak, but I'm also focused on, my own self-interest, my own wealth and abundance, my own spirituality. And I can be spiritual with you, but I ain't got to deal with you. Like, if you're about really going against something that's going to hurt, if you're about going with something, excuse me, that's going to hurt me, hurt my family, like I can be polite to you, but like we're not gonna hang out. Like we're not gonna like unless you have some sort of transformation or some sort of come to, it's not going to happen. And that doesn't mean that I'm less spiritual. That I don't care. I'm not wishing that you get smited, as the religious folks say. But I do. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with that. I'm praying for God to bring some forgiveness in my heart because like it affects my life in more ways than one. And you basically said, all right, till the next time. Hey, I hope to see you guys again. Like and subscribe. I love y'all. I do. I love y'all. I love you for taking the time to listen. All right. Peace.